Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
We are part of the governance architecture of the country. National security matters, you don't do the usual with it. So the deputy majority leader had hinted me on this matter. So we would oblige them to lay the report and take the report, because that was the prayer. We don't mind, because this has to do with the national security of our state. But Mr. Speaker, the amount, when you cannot provide for women banking, the women banking that you stated in your manifesto.
So, Honorable Minority Leader, are you debating the motion?
Pardon?
Are you debating the motion? The report has not been laid. The motion has not been moved. But it appears you are in the mood to debate the motion.
Mr. Speaker, you know opposition matters are always alleged. Mr. Speaker, we are in opposition.
Yes, I understand.
We are guided by rules.
I understand you are in opposition.
Mr. Speaker, we know you are a rules man.
You are opposition leader. But as opposition leader, you don't operate too much outside
Mr.
the
Speaker,
rules.
it is always alleged, but it's okay. I was only signaling them. I am only signaling them that the amount that they are giving to the Minister of Interior with additional responsibility.
Honorable Minority
Mr.
Leader,
Speaker, he is not paying attention to me.
You are forcing me to say that
Mr. Speaker,
you are
but
out of
with all
order.
the provocation, he's decided not to respond. He
You
has to respond.
No, Honorable Minority
Mr.
Leader,
Speaker,
you
how
are
can he be quiet
compelling
in
me.
this chamber?
You are compelling me to say that you
Mr.
are
Speaker,
operating
Mr.
completely
Speaker, no.
out
Mr.
of
Speaker,
order.
he can't be quiet today. Honorable Muntaka is not known for being quiet.
4 billion.
You take him 4 billion into
I'll
4
urge
billion. You are
Honorable
quiet.
Muntaka to
You can't be
resist
quiet.
the temptation.
Sikam pedede.
You must resist the temptation.
Sikam pedede. When you are manti wum pesa okasa. Obe kasa.
All members, presentation of papers, order paper addendum 2. Chairman of the committee. Please, to understand this, I got the understanding. I'll urge upon the Minister of Interior to give the entire House the same background leading to this particular motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you recollect, exactly a week today, a number of motions were moved. And if you go check the records, you will see that the motion number 34 of last week, Tuesday, was that the Honorable House adopts the report of the Joint Committee on Defense and Interior and Security and Intelligence, the allocation sum. When they were putting the sum, that was where there was an error, because the sum was supposed to be the sum of both Ministry of Interior and National Security. And that total will have been 16.3 billion. Unfortunately, the figure that was put that day was only 12.5 billion, which is for only the Interior Ministry. So leaving that of the National Security. Now, two options: to come back to the floor to just correct the figure, or better still, what we are doing, just take the full motion on the national security. And we opted that let's just take the motion afresh, so that we will be able to now have the 3.7 that will be added to the 12.7 that 12.5 that was taken last week. So, Mr. Speaker, there's no any challenge for those who want to get clarity from the budget document. If you go and take budget page 184, you will see that item 37 and 38. Item 37 says the Minister of Interior. Then you have 38 shows the National Security Council. And when you put the two figures together, it's supposed to give you 16.3 billion. But that day, we took it as 12.5 billion. And this is just to correct that, to enable the right figures be captured in the appropriation. That is why we are taking this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not contributing yet, but I just want a proper foundation laid on the matter that the minister a moment ago addressed us on. Now, he referred to the budget. The page you referred us to, is there a line item which has National Security Council 3,751,733,088 Ghana cedi?
Mr. Speaker, rightly so. That's why I've made reference to the page. If your budget is next to you, it is page 184 of the budget. If you have the budget, you can take at it or look at it. And then you look at the appendix 4A, item 37 and 38. So page 184. Page 184 of the main budget. You will see appendix 4A, item 37. You see Ministry of Interior. When you go to the extreme end, it gives you 12,577,077,977. When you look at item 8, it gives you National Security Council. No, 38. Item 38, National Security Council. When you go to the extreme end, it gives you 3,751,733,088 cedis, which is what is captured on the addendum 2. So if you were to have the order paper of last week, Tuesday, a week today, which was on the 9th, you will see that the total figure that was supposed to be captured for the 2, because I supervised it, I was supposed to move the motion as 1. They should have been 16.3 billion. That's putting the 12.7 and then the 3.7 together. But unfortunately that day, the total was 12.7, meaning that only that of Interior was captured and that of the National Security was left out. So we had two options, like I said earlier, to come back to the floor just to correct the figure, or to come by the motion as we are doing now to take the motion fully on the national security. And we opted to do this because, as we corrected last week, we didn't even have the opportunity to look at the reports and debate the reports. So that's why we opted for this, just to capture that of the national security appropriately, so that it will pave way for it to feature properly in the appropriation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, for further clarity, we are all learning. Mr. Speaker, the figure that he says came under the Ministry of Interior, 12 billion, that one I agree. And he's saying that the actual amount for National Security Council is 3,751,733,088. However, under that item, it's incomplete. You have Research Department of 64,910,351. So, Mr. Speaker, if we approve the 3.3751, what it means is that the Research Department one of 64 will still be hanging, because that was not part of the 12.5 that was earlier approved under Interior. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister, because you look at item 838, because 38 that he refers to, it has National Security Council, then we have National Security Headquarters and agencies, And then we have research department.
Yes, Honorable
Thank you,
Minister.
Mr. Speaker. Kindly, the minority leader should just note that you have a say of which. So you may ask, why was it said that just beneath the National Security Council, you have of which National Security Council headquarters and agencies? Because the way we operate currently is that, as you may know, the research department largely operates under foreign affairs, but all the others work under National Security Council. That's why the figure was repeated when you talk about of which National Security Council headquarters and agencies. That means including the research. That is why you now have of which 6491351 is stated. That 6491351 is part of the 3.7. It's clearly part of the 3.7. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, then I have an issue because, you see, you have under the 38, you have that same figure repeating is at the 3751733088 coming under National Security Headquarters and Agencies. So it says that 3751, of which National Security Headquarters and Agencies, it repeat the figure. I agree. When you come to the next one, the research department, compensation is not provided for. I agree. But what I am asking is that if you now provide for 64 million over there, you need to do some additions. You cannot say that the first one of which the amount you've repeated, there is some problem there because the headline has the main amount, and then if you follow through, you realize that there is some consistency. Other expenditure you add up, then you get the main amount. But you cannot repeat NSC headquarters and agencies, repeat the same figure, then you say research department 64 million, then you come and tell me that it is part of it. When you add, you get the same figure. Honorable Minister, with respect, I mean, I think we've been handling this budget. Go back to the 37. Go back to 37. If you look at the 37, if you add all of it, you realize that you get that figure of 12,577. So how come when it gets to the national security, you're unable to add up? Mr. Speaker, if you check what you have under 37, add the 37, paragraph 37 of page 184. You will see that there is some consistency. Add the numbers. But the national security, Mr. Speaker, there is something wrong there. Mr. Speaker, it's there, black and white.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's nothing wrong. Well, anytime you said of which, it means that it's embedded. And Mr. Speaker, as you may know, if you are going to take the argument of my minority leader, then what it means is that under the of which research department, when you say compensation dash, it means that nobody under the research department will be paid for that year. That's what it will mean. But they will be paid. They will be paid. So I can give you the actual figures here. When it comes to the research, the compensation is about 734 million. I'm talking about the committee's report, which you also have. And then you have goods and services, 54,910. Then you have keepers, page 10 of the committee's report. Are you with me now? Yes. Yes. So you have all the figures, and you see that it sums up to the 3.751 billion. Look at that report. So I'm saying that, yes, the total figure that was given for the national security is the 3.7. If you want to see the actual breakdown, this one that is rationally, they should even state all the others like National Signal Bureau, National Investigative Bureau, which have not been done here. So what you have here, the most interesting thing is the global figure, because embedded in it are all this that has not been stated here. But if you go to appropriation, you are going to be looking at the global figure and the national security. And I'm telling you that the research has not been left out. What they printed there, yes, to you and I, may not make sense, because you won't say, based on what they printed in the budget, you say that research will not receive any compensation. But they have. Over 700 million is there. So, yes, concentrate on the global figure, because of which, anytime you talk about of which in reading budget, it means that it's embedded in the, what do you call it, the global figure.
Speaker, the Honorable Minister, with his experience in this chamber, is right in his submissions, and I would concede to that. But, Mr. Speaker, there is a fundamental problem which is not caused by him, which is not his fault. Mr. Speaker, he refers to the committee's report. That has the right details, and I agree. Of course, he is a member of government. It is not for him to let that rotten tooth be pulled out from his mouth. I will pull that rotten tooth out. Mr. Speaker, the budget has a problem. And he remembers that when I was closing the comment on behalf of the minority, I pointed out that this budget is a cut and paste budget. Mr. Speaker, we have listened to him. You see, I would show you.
Listen in silence. Listen in silence.
Mr. Speaker, if you go into the budget, there are a lot of repetitions. And look at the figure. The minister is quoting right from the committee's report. The additions there are correct. But if you come here, you say of which, add up. This is the parent document. Mr. Speaker, you cannot place something on nothing. It will fall. This is the place where all these figures are emanating from. If it is wrong here, you can't get it right here. It means that these are new figures that are coming from somewhere. And I said it at the dispatch box, that go back to the ministry, take your time and read your budget again and correct these figures. The minister is right. If we add up in the report, we would get the figure in the appropriation right. By the way, why are you burdening me? I'm not even a finance person, and I'm educating you guys on finance. I didn't do finance, and you couldn't add up your own figures in the parent budget. Mr. Speaker, this is simple mathematics. If you add up the 37, if you compare to 37 to the other paragraphs, they add up. The 38, the figures are missing. You say there's no compensation. Meanwhile, in the committee's report, it's been provided for. It's the compensation must come from the budget. So one would ask, where did it come from? So you as leader of government business should only give assurance to the House that these errors will be corrected so that we make progress. But don't attempt to force your way. Otherwise, we will challenge this committee report, because this committee report and its details are not founded in this parent document.
They are not there. So
it is the budget that goes to the committee for us to consider the estimates. These are basic 189. This is basic.
Very, very basic.
That's why you must listen to the minority.
The mighty minority.
These are basic. which you should get right. And when we are correcting you, you won't listen. Mr. Speaker, the minister has made a good point, and I'm reasonable enough to appreciate where he's coming from. But only if the majority front bench will be gracious enough to concede that their budget has a problem. Your budget has a problem. Your budget has a problem. You didn't take your time to read over, go through the budget. You just brought it here to do your normal propaganda. Now you are exposing yourself.
It's okay.
Now you've been exposed.
It's okay.
Now you've been exposed.
They are begging. They are begging.
Honourable members, I think we have even concluded the debate. So I intend to put a question. After this elaborate explanation by the minority leader, what else do you have to say on the motion? Yes?
I don't know why these two gentlemen are up on their feet. You should know when you have no case. You
see,
should know, listen.
In order to avoid three people standing, let me put a question.
Mr. Speaker, I know the circumstances we're in, but Mr. Speaker, only if they will concede that their budget. Oh, you want to correct me? Mr. Speaker, if he says he wants to correct me,
Honorable Minority Leader, you know I don't have the power to judge. So all I need to do is for the motion before us to be debated. And your debate has concluded everything. Minority Leader, your debate has concluded everything. So we'll have to. So you want to debate again? As to whether this correction should be made or should not be made. Yes, Deputy Majority Leader. Your microphone. Microphone.
Mr. Speaker, I do know that the minority leader is a lawyer. Yes. He's not a finance person. Neither is he a mathematician. What's here is a presentation issue. Everything is here. What is here is exactly what is here. Let me educate you. I will explain it. You said you were trying to educate us. So I think we need to give you a better education on this. Okay, Mr. Speaker, what is here is exactly right. The two figures you see there, that comes to 64. Comes to 64 million. It's basically goods and services and capex. When you look at the other ones, which is to do with which has been put together, that is the National Intelligence Bureau and the National Signals Bureau. It's all been put together, and that is part of. If you look at page 184, you realize that on research department, there is no figure for compensation, because that compensation figure is already part of the figure above it. They have put the compensation on this together. That's what it is. Look, go back to all the budget that we've done. You realize that this is keep repeating itself. Mr. Speaker, there's nothing here that is different from what is on this paper. It's exactly the same thing.
Very well.
He's just misreading it and misleading the House. That's what my information here, they're both the same information. There's nothing absolutely wrong here. So don't tell us that this budget is not being presented. It's been presented absolutely the way it's been done for years. And the only thing they've done here is that they've gone further to break down. But the budget has actually put the sums together. So on one line, the same figure that you see, which is 3.7 billion, and it's repeated now because the top one is the total for everything. The second one is a breakdown of the bureau one together, and they have separated the research one. The only thing is that compensation for the whole thing, the National Security Council, is put together. These are cost centers, and the figures have been put at different cost centers, but salaries, compensation are paid as one bulk, and that is why it sits in one place. There's nothing wrong with these figures here. You are not a finance person. Please don't try to be and mislead the House.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
So,
these are reputational issues.
So,
Permit me.
if I want to understand, the compensation for people at the research department, are they not part of the national security?
Mr. Speaker.
The research department, the employees.
Mr. Speaker, please kindly hear me. The Honorable Deputy Majority Leader, who is a finance person, has explained something to us. I disagree on the very foundation upon which he mounted his explanation. Let's go back to it. Mr. Speaker, we have paragraph 38. 38 has a global figure, and sub to that it has introduced cost centers, and it is the additions that are made that sum up to the global figure. Is that not so? Now, you have introduced.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, I'll give you the floor after him, so hold it. I would give you the floor after him with all due respect so that you can counter. Please, Minority Leader, kindly be brief.
Mr. Speaker, the cost centers that Mr. Speaker, the cost centers that have been introduced are supposed to add up to the global figure that has already been introduced. Good. If that is so, under the cost centers, we have two items that have been introduced. Two. Therefore, these two cost centers must add up to make the 3.7. Is that not so? Now, first, you have National Security Headquarters and agencies. It introduces it, add it to the research department. Forget about the compensation. I would concede on the compensation. But if you add up the two, you don't get what has been provided for. Meanwhile, what the minister explained, which is in the report, is different from here because that provides details of the various departments. Let me make my point. The committee's report gives a complete breakdown of the cost centers. It gives us the breakdown, whereas in the budget it provided for only two cost centers. Only two. That is why I'm saying that go to 37. When you go to 37, you have a detailed breakdown of all the agencies. Why is it that when it gets to the 38, only two agencies are introduced, but when you go to the committee's report, the committee rather has all the cost centers? That is what I want him to clarify.
I will give the floor to Honorable Dr. Zenator.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. If the Minority Leader will kindly look at page 184, the number 38, National Security Council gives the global figure. of which National Security Council headquarters and agencies, which is still that global figure, of which RD is then presented, because RD is always separate, because it finds itself under a different ministry. So that's why it's been put outside where it is. So it's actually presented correctly. If you look at it, it's not a repetition. National Security Council is the umbrella agency under which you have the headquarters and agencies, which still presents that global figure, and that's broken down, of which you have research department, and that's where the 64 million plus comes from.
Mr. Speaker, well explained. My question, therefore, the 64,910, is it part of the 3751733,088?
That's correct. And if you have this version of the budget that's relating to the specific, the estimates, it's also the estimates, the breakdown specific for the sector. On this page here, I can show it to you as well. It actually breaks it down exactly into that, where you have the research department broken into the goods and services, which is the 54,910,351, and the capex, which is the 10 million, and that adds up to the 64.
The respected chair of the committee is right. I have the estimates, yes, that version. But you see, it still doesn't answer the fundamental question in the main budget. Mr. Speaker, it's not politics we're doing. Yes, it's not politics we're doing. It is the issue at stake which must be acknowledged and rectified. You need to rectify this. It's something that has to be done. You can't get it right in other document, then here put all of them together. Listen, in other paragraphs, you have itemized them and created cost centers for each one of them. But when it gets here, you've said, and it had agencies. Then you give us a global figure. That explanation, I buy it, but you are supposed to give a breakdown. You are saying the previous budget, this is how it is. I'm sorry. It is not the case. It is not the case. If you say no, please. If I came into this house with you together, don't say you've been in this house long ago. But that's what you said. We came together. And I got into leadership long before you. And right here in this room, I'm the senior most. All of you
Honorable,
here, I'm your senior.
Members,
you know
may
that.
I respectfully,
yes, that's a fact.
humbly ask that
I'm your most senior in leadership, you know.
you should both resume your seats. Honorable members, both of you should resume your seats. Honorable members, both of you should resume your seats. Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.